But in the studio, we happen to have a new Muslim who passed through. So we want to interview and ask a few questions to Dontasia Woodram. Dontasia, assalamu alaikum. So, Dontasia, you are relatively a new Muslim. Tell me, from your experience, what might be some of the challenges that new Muslims face from your experience?
Okay, so I think my biggest challenge was, of course, family support.
Okay.
Because I came from a non-Muslim family, a Christian family, and it was very difficult for them to understand. You becoming a Muslim, you would hear all these stigmas associated with Muslims that obviously aren't true, right? And it took them a long time to be accepting of it, because they were wondering, why are you going into this religion? You know, you cover your whole self, why?
Yeah.
And eventually, when they understood about the religion, they came around, and now my entire family is very accepting of it. So that was the biggest challenge I faced, the family support and not having that. Then secondly, you know, you would be around Muslims and things that would be easy for them, things like Arabic, things like knowing what surahs to read, what surahs to recite, those things that come easily to people who were practicing Islam since birth.
Yeah.
Those things, and me now having to learn it, having to learn Arabic, which is extremely difficult for me.
Did you have somebody in the beginning to help you along, or you were feeling your way?
So at the start, I was feeling my way. And then I had my husband to help me.
All right.
And then, yeah.
Okay, so tell us about, what do you think about a mentorship program for new Muslims? Do you see benefit in this?
I do, particularly because, especially if you have like a one-on-one support, right? You have somebody who's there to mentor you, to help you. You can ask any questions to them. They will answer it. They will guide you what to learn, how to pray, especially praying. That's the first thing that I feel as though a Muslim should learn to do.
Right.
And I had to learn it through books versus having somebody to teach you how to do it. I think that's important, teaching you Arabic, teaching you what to learn, how to learn it. Of course, you have sites and stuff now, but it's different having somebody who's there to teach you and ask them any question. Particularly as a new Muslim too, you might feel isolated. If you have nobody in your family, no friends, having a mentor who's there and who could provide support, I think that's important.
So are you saying, in spite of the fact there are so many YouTube videos, there are so many books, in spite of that, you're still saying that having a buddy, having a big brother, a big sister, having somebody senior, having somebody seasoned to help you, to help a new Muslim along the journey, you're still saying that that is in fact more beneficial than all of the material available?
I think so, because you could learn whatever material, but having somebody there to guide you and help you, especially with pronunciation, Arabic pronunciation, for example. You could listen to it, you could see it on a YouTube video, but actually how you pronounce it, having somebody there to correct you, it goes a long way. Having somebody to be a support as well, it goes a long way.
So is it possible that somebody could be watching YouTube videos and still learn the wrong things?
I think in terms of certain things, so yes, there's a lot of different resources out there that may not necessarily be the correct thing, or different schools of thoughts. So you have somebody there who you could pass the information by, who could correct you or guide you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the point you made earlier was a very interesting one. And when I talked to the mentor, I'll ask him about that as well. That family support, if not family, just community support. People to hold on to a mosque where you could go and feel welcome. Did you ever feel at any point in time in your journey, did you ever feel unwelcomed at any point in time?
So I remember just before I became Muslim, we went to a mosque to pray. But at that time, I didn't know how to pray. So my mom and I, we stood up in the back, and everybody was kind of watching us. Why aren't they praying? No, everybody came up to us. Why weren't you praying? Why didn't you pray? You were just standing there. That was the only time I felt a little isolated. Becoming a Muslim, nobody ever showed us any ill will or anything. Everybody was supportive. So that was the only instance, but that was before I was Muslim.
Yeah, okay. So as a new Muslim, as a budding Muslim, as a Muslim on her journey, how has been your journey thus far? How has been your learning? I think you've been fortunate enough to be involved in the leadership group where you have some formal structured learning. How has been your particular journey since you've become Muslim and having the assistance now from people?
It has been much different compared to before, when you had no guidance, nobody there to help you. You learn more. You learn what to do, how to do things correctly. as well as you could tailor yourself to know, okay, this is what I have to do and this is what I have to know. So for me, it was much better being involved and seeing these things firsthand, seeing all the classes, seeing everything that it has to offer.
Let me just ask you this other question. If you have to teach me, help me with my journey as a new Muslim, what are some of the things you think is absolutely necessary for me in my journey? What would you include in that training?
Definitely Salah, how to pray Salah. Definitely certain surahs like Surah Fatiha. The 3 calls, the important things that you need to know. How to make wudu, those things, basics, properly, how to do them properly first, and then you could move on. Arabic is something difficult, so definitely go into classes that teach Arabic. That's important.
What about making me feel welcome? So I want some social and recreational stuff too.
Of course, having a buddy, having somebody there to support you, that's very important.
Right.
I think that's actually one of the most important things, because feeling isolated could push somebody away very easily. Feeling isolated, feeling like you have nobody there, nobody to guide you, I think that's something that could separate somebody from wanting to, not just wanting, but feeling supported versus not. And when you feel supported, you want to learn, you want to do more, you want to be better, versus feeling isolated.
So we wanted to have a new Muslim dinner, only new Muslims. We have to have some criteria, otherwise everybody will come to our free dinner. We want to have for new Muslims.
Yeah.
Do you think if we have a dinner for new Muslims, would you feel as a new Muslim comfortable coming to that, and would you look forward to something like that?
Yes, I would. And to be honest, it would be something that I think a lot of new Muslims would look forward to, because everybody there kind of on the same path. Everybody there is starting out, versus somebody who's been in it, somebody who has grown up in the religion, somebody with all this knowledge. These are people who are now starting out, and you find your peers with that. So I feel as though it's very good to especially form connections with people.
Yeah.
Having people on the same level as you, and you all could grow together, learn together, become better together.
Right. Very good. So if you're now tuning in, we are live on IBN. We are discussing tonight a project called Hand in Hand Mentorship for New Muslims. The numbers are on the screen. Feel free to call. We are chatting now with Dontasia, who's a new Muslim. Dontasia, the last question for you. I want you to look into the camera and talk to any new Muslim looking at this show. Tell them something that you think they need to know in order to make them feel that level of comfort. What would you say to a new Muslim?
I would say it's okay to feel as though you don't know where to start. It's okay to feel isolated. You have support, you just need to look for it. It's okay to not know as much as everybody else, because in time you will learn too. You just have to be willing to learn. And it's okay to not be at everybody else's level. It's okay to not know things that other people will know, because eventually you will get there. These are people that have grown up in the religion, and you are now coming into it, so be a little bit easier on yourself.
So